Here's what the government doesn't want you to know about the pineal gland, which is also known as the third eye, also known as the seat of the soul. There is this little tiny mechanism inside your brain. It's called the pineal gland. This is the mechanism in which consciousness is able to incarnate into the human avatar body. Your pineal gland is also a mechanism for psychic abilities like astral projection, remote viewing, and having a very advanced intuition. This is all done through the pineal gland. Now, the government has gone through extreme measures to shut down your pineal gland and keep the pineal gland hidden from the public. That's why they never talk about it in public school. Even the corporate religious industrial complex doesn't even talk about it either. It's been hidden. It's occult knowledge. It's very secretive. They don't want you knowing about it. They don't want you developing it, because what happens when you have a fully functioning, optimized pineal gland, you become very intelligent. You start getting information downloads from the universe. You start getting information downloads from your higher consciousness. You start accessing information that is not approved by the government, and they don't want that. They want you watching TV, watching Netflix, and mindlessly repeating and regurgitating the propaganda and the BS taught in public school. Now, the government has been all over this pineal gland thing for decades and decades and decades, even before most of you people watching this or watching my videos on TikTok were even born. Back in the 60s, they had secret government programs where they were training certain groups of people how to use their pineal gland and do something called remote viewing, which is basically using their pineal gland to just locate things anywhere in the universe. They have secret agencies and secret groups in the government that all they do is practice developing psychic abilities with their pineal gland. And they use this. They use this in the military. They use this for all kinds of things, but they don't want you, the everyday average person, using it. Now, the pineal gland is it's a kind of technology that basically allows consciousness to experience life subjectively through the five sensory organs of the human avatar body. This technology is not really understood by most people, not even by some of the top scientists in the world. They don't fully understand this. The ancient Egyptians and the Atlanteans understood it because they have the symbolism of it all over the place. And in a lot of the teachings of some of the Egyptian gods, they refer to the pineal gland often. In fact, there's even some ancient texts that describe them being so advanced that they would create new bodies that they would genetically engineer and then do a consciousness transfer from one body into the next. So this pineal gland stuff, it's very, very highly advanced. There is a researcher who did a presentation on the pineal gland. His name is David Wilcock, and he says that some scientists one time, they had a pineal gland from a deceased body, and they cut it open, and inside they found a bunch of crystals. Now remember, crystals are receivers of data. In fact, your smartphones, your laptops, all your computer equipment, it all requires crystals. Quartz crystals is used in that technology. None of this stuff works without crystals. Crystals are a kind of energetic life form, and they can send and receive data. They can send and receive information. And the pineal gland, in some way, shape, or form, with the crystals, and there's something else in it. One of the other things in it is called DMT, which is also known as dimethyltryptamine, which is also known as the spirit molecule. Something to do with the crystals and the dimethyltryptamine, and just the way that the pineal gland is designed, which I don't fully understand it either, but this is what I understand so far. The DMT and the crystals are key components to its functionality. Now, your pineal gland, it actually metabolizes DMT. It's hungry for it. It also produces DMT, or it's thought to produce DMT during heightened states of meditation, and also when you're about to die, your pineal gland produces a whole bunch of DMT. So the DMT is a key component in the multi-dimensional aspect of our reality here, and of this universe. The DMT, it goes through your blood-brain barrier and absorbs into your pineal gland. It literally gets metabolized by it. And if you want more info on that, read Dr. Rick Strassman's book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule, where he does a bunch of experiments on volunteers where he injects them with pure DMT and then, monitors everything that happens in the body, as well as he has these volunteers share their experience after taking the DMT. When almost all of them go multidimensional, make contact with multidimensional beings, extraterrestrials, aliens. They get taken up on spaceships and get shown different hybrid programs and all kinds of things like that. So there's something very, 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 very strange and profound going on with DMT, the pineal gland consciousness, and the multidimensional reality. And there's, in some way, somehow, this little mechanism inside your brain with DMT, dimethyltryptamine, it's somehow, it's like a portal. It's some kind of technology that allows us to go interdimensional, that allows us to access data, and it also gives us a more advanced awareness and intuition. Now, again, this is all those things I just listed. That's why the government is so freaked out about you learning how to open your pineal gland and learning how to take control of your pineal gland, because the government only wants you receiving information that they approve of. They don't want you going multidimensional and making contact with multidimensional beings or aliens or extraterrestrials. They don't want you getting taken up on an alien spaceship. They don't want you doing that. The government wants you complacent in public brainwashing camps called school. They want you watching Netflix and listening to Cardi B and Travis Scott and the satanic music industry. They want to keep you in this little box. And the pineal glands, that will break you out of the box that the government's trying to put you in. That's why it's been so suppressed. And that's why we don't fully understand how it works. We're still trying to figure it out. But there's a lot of different ways that I have personally experimented with opening my pineal gland. DMT is one of them. You can go down to the Central or South America and work with the shamans in the rainforest. They got different plant technology that'll allow you to drink. Basically, it's like liquid DMT, and they make it in a tea where they boil the roots of one tree with the leaves of another tree. And normally, DMT isn't ingestible, but some of these plants contain what's called a monoamine oxidase inhibitor, also known as an MAO inhibitor. And if you take it with the DMT, it allows the DMT to be digested and then absorbed into the bloodstream and goes right through your blood-brain barrier, and then your pineal gland metabolizes it. So that's kind of plant technology. And there's different plants that have it, and there's different plants that have MAO inhibitors, and there's different cultures from thousands and thousands of years that have been using this to connect to the different dimensions and access higher intelligence and higher consciousness. It's currently illegal, of course, because, again, the government does not want you to have this stuff. That's why they make it illegal. They don't want you to have it. The ancient Egyptians were all over this stuff. They had a plant called the acacia plant, which was rich in DMT. Down in like the rainforest in Peru, Costa Rica, they have a drink called ayahuasca, which is basically their version of what the Egyptians did with the acacia plant. Psilocybin mushrooms. The psilocybin molecule is basically a DMT molecule with just a couple extra kinds of atoms attached to it. And when you ingest it, the extra atoms get broken off, and then you got DMT that just goes right into your bloodstream. That's why you have the psychedelic experience on psilocybin mushrooms, also known as magic mushrooms. All this stuff is plant technology that is here to assist us in our consciousness and expand our awareness and help break people free from the control system. Everyone have a wonderful day.